Well, good morning, folks. Thanks for taking the time to click on this video. If you haven't already, please check out my other cool videos. Well, at least I think they're cool. But check out my other videos, click that like button, and please take a chance to subscribe. I try to upload, as I've said many times before, different variety of content. But here lately, I've been doing a lot of gun stuff, and that's what this video is today. So if this isn't your cup of tea, sorry. Still, go ahead and click the like if you can. You don't have to watch the whole thing. But what I want to talk about today is the LifeCard. And there are hundreds of videos on this gun already on YouTube. What this is, if you're watching this, you probably already know what this gun is. It's a small folding single shot 22 pistol. So I just wanted to touch on it briefly. This is not a real in-depth review. The purpose of my video today is basically to give you some size comparisons of the LifeCard to some other common pocket guns. So let's jump right into it. I will say this, my son got me this LifeCard as a present. Honestly, this LifeCard to me kind of falls in the same category of, well, maybe like similar to a Bond Arms Derringer. Now, the Bond Arms Derringers, they are great little pistols or guns. I don't know if you would qualify it. It's not really a pistol, not really a revolver. I shall call it a Derringer. But the Bond Arms Derringers are great quality Derringers, very well made, and they're fun to shoot. But honestly, I really don't see a practical application for those, and that's kind of the category where this falls into. Granted, there might be some use for this if a guy or a lady needs just a last resort weapon that doesn't really look like a weapon, that you don't really need to put it in a holster, things along the lines of that. But there are some better options out there in about the same size, and mainly what comes to mind for me are the NAA revolvers. But let's take a quick look at the boxing on this. And that's one thing I was impressed with on this. Now, I believe this was used when he got it. Someone took care of it, but it does have very nice packaging. I work in manufacturing, and we call this type of lettering a spot gloss, where that has a small glossy spot over particular areas of the box. Not cheap to do. It is an extra expense, and I like to see that someone like Trailblazer, went the extra step to do some extra touches like that. But packaging means a lot to people nowadays. Apple, I believe, is the one that kind of spoiled the average consumer on that when Apple first started unveiling their iPods and iPhones. Really, really cool packaging. And nowadays, as a consumer, if I buy some sort of item, particularly an electronic item, if it doesn't come in cool packaging, hey, I'm disappointed. But this is the box outside of the sleeve. And inside we do have actually a very nice instruction manual. Again, nice little spot gloss printing, nice weight paper, nice illustrations inside of it. Yeah, impressive, Trailblazer. And this is how the LifeCard comes packaged. And again, this one is used, I believe normally there's an insert saying do not dry fire, and I believe it also comes with a snap cap from the factory. But yeah, a nice presentation, and that means something. So again, Trailblazer, thank you for spending the extra couple of bucks on nice packaging. When someone is spending this type of money on a firearm, it's nice to have that extra little touch. If you go out and buy a new, a Taurus or a Smith or something like that, a lot of times you just get a cheap little cardboard box. But this is a LifeCard, and as always, I am going to do some close-ups on this so you can see what this puppy looks like up close. Now, this is what they call the poly version, where the handle, which is this lower half right here, is made out of polymer. And again, I'll mention that I am in the manufacturing industry, and this is decent quality polymer molding. You know, they've got a little bit of, just a tiny bit of excess flash right here that could have been trimmed off. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little bit of sharp edges here. And then right here, there's a real fine line. I believe they probably ultrasonically welded this part together. There's a little fine line right there that could have been cleaned up. But the way this works, you pull these little levers down, this opens up. Mine doesn't click, but you can see where that latch did spring back up there into place, and then this is fixed. It won't fold on you. And of course, right here on the polymer versions, they have a little trap door where you can put, I think, 3 rounds of 22 long rifle in there. And this is what your sight picture looks like on these. Let's get it over a lighter color. Kind of hard to tell, I guess. Let me see if I have something here. How about a crinkled up piece of white paper? Let us get a better idea of that sight picture. See, it's basically just a groove. And you just kind of get that groove leveled out, and there you go. But I've only shot at a couple of bags of potting soil in my garage, using some of those Calibri bullets, the Aguila Calibri bullets. But this little spring latch is what opens up the barrel. You drop in your round. As you can see, there is some rifling in the barrel. But you drop in your round, then you pull this back to engage it, and you're ready to go. Just click the little go button, the trigger. Now, this does have a half cock feature, which is it is in right now. And the only way this can be folded up when the gun is in half cock. Now, Trailblazer clearly states in their manual that they recommend you do not carry this with a round in the chamber, which personally I think is a little bit ridiculous, because if you watch some of the videos on the Trailblazer, some of the factory tour videos, and even a couple of the videos where they interview the, I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he's the guy who designed this, invented it, and currently owns the factory. He states in several of those videos that it is designed to carry around in the chamber safely because of the half-cock position. It is supposed to be drop safe. So I think they published it in the literature, do not carry around safely, or do not carry, they recommend not carrying it with a round in the chamber. But I think that's probably some type of legalese that they have to do. Personally, if I was to carry this, and I might slip this in my pocket sometimes, I will carry it with a round in the chamber. Although you should always heed the advice that you see on the manual and don't carry it with a round in the chamber. I don't know if I showed that, but there's some nice little, and they did a good job manufacturing this. Good workmanship. Like I said, I am a little bit disappointed with the. I don't want to call it flashing, because flashing is what happens when two parts are molded together from a mold. And I don't think, let me see if I can see it, but right along in here on the edge of this polymer, there is some rough plastic areas. And I believe, I might be wrong, but it looks like to me that this might actually have been 2 pieces of polymer that were ultrasonically welded together, or possibly RF welded together to create a small little box, because this would be very hard. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure there is that you can almost see a slight line right through here. You can see a slight line. And that's hard to avoid, but I think that's something that could have been cleaned up. And I'm just nitpicking because I'm in that type of industry. Another thing that I'm not crazy about is this. Again, this is the polymer version, but you got a little bit of wiggle when this is closed up. Now, if I think on one of the assembly videos where a guy was touring the factory, I think they said they put a small rubber O-ring or washer inside of this part, and that might be what's causing the wiggle. Maybe it's supposed to have a little bit of give, because it does have to get, if you put this in your pocket and let's say you have it in the front pocket of your jeans and you wiggle or move or something, it might put undue stress on that if it didn't have some give factor. I might actually email Trailblazer about that, just to make sure that's normal on the poly versions. But it's a fun little gun to shoot. Yeah, my son and I and my daughter-in-law, we shot a couple of rounds into some bags of potting soil with those Aguila Calibri bullets. If you haven't seen those, check them out. I'll drop in a picture right here of them. But what they are, they're small little, they're labeled as 22 long rifles, but they're actually about the size of a 22 long, if any of y'all remember what the longs are like. And it has a small little projectile. I think it's only like a 20 grain projectile. Maybe it's 30 grain projectile that I believe is a fragmenting projectile. And they are powered solely by the primer charge. But the only weapons you can use them in are revolvers or ones like this, because they do not have enough power to cycle a semi-automatic pistol. And you sure don't want to shoot them out of a rifle, because the projectile may not even exit the barrel of the rifle. But when you have a little short barrel like this, they're a lot of fun to shoot. So let's jump into some size comparisons so we can wrap this up real quick. So I had mentioned earlier that this is more of a novelty to me. Here's the reason why. This is a single shot. You have to open it. There's several steps involved, and you have to open it, you have to cock it, you have to shoot it, then you have to pick out the spent casing with your fingernail, put another one in, and then repeat the process. It's small. It's nice that it's only this thick, but here's another viable option. This, I'm sure you recognize, is the North American Arms 22 long rifle. Just their basic 22 long rifle revolver. I've had this one for a lot of years, and my wife recently claimed it as hers. Well, I say recently here, a couple of years ago. Yeah, it's longer. It's taller. Sorry for muzzling you, and yes, this is loaded. But the advantages of this, you need to shoot. You pull this out, cock, bang, cock, bang, cock, bang. You can shoot 5 rounds out of this. I would wager that you can shoot 5 rounds out of this probably faster than you can shoot 2 rounds out of this with having to do the reload. So if someone's looking for a last-ditch weapon that they can shoot quickly, I think this would obviously be the better choice. It's 22 long rifle as well. Now, you might think, okay, well, the barrel is longer in this one. Well, that's true, but you have to remember that when the 22 shell is put in here, it's going up to about here. So your actual shooting barrel length is maybe, I don't know, 50% more than this North American Arms. And now I will say too, I guarantee you're going to get better ballistics out of the LifeCard, because number one, you have the barrel length that's a little bit longer, and number two, you don't have a forcing cone area, where anytime, those you guys who know guns know that anytime you shoot a revolver, you expend a lot of the gases around the forcing cone area, where it blows out right here when you shoot, and your ballistics on the same length barrel are typically not as good as they are when you have a cartridge firing from a chambered type rifle, or a handgun in this case. So yeah, I mean, this will be my option if I want. Now, like I said, hey, there are times where this might even be too big, and this might be your only option. So if that's the case, heck yeah, this will be a nice one to pick up. So yeah, it does have a niche, but it is a very, very small, tiny niche, just like the gun itself, in my opinion. Now let's take a look at the next step up in the North American Arms line. This is their Pug, is what they call it. Now this one, actually has a decent sight system on it. It uses the XS sighting system. This particular version doesn't have the night sight, but it is the XS type quick pickup sighting system. And this one is 22 Magnum versus 22 long rifle. Does that make a difference? Well, yeah, it does ballistically. Not a huge difference out of these little short barrels, but any advantage helps, especially when you keep it loaded with something like the Spear. The Spear self-defense 22 Magnum ammo that's designed specifically for short barrel revolvers. So let's look at the size comparison of this though. And like anything, as you get more, hey, you're getting bigger. Yeah. This is what I would call significantly bigger than this one. So if you're, to me, this doesn't even put it in the same category with the size difference that you're looking at here. This one, yes, this one's competitive. This one, no. So now let's take a look at another popular pocket pistol, and I love pocket pistols, guys. This is the Ruger LCP. We're all familiar with this one, been out for a long time. You have 6+1 of 380 on tap, which obviously is a huge ballistic advantage over any of these. But with that comes the price. Look how much bigger that is in comparison. I mean, it's huge. It dwarfs it. So yeah, again, there's a little niche that you might be able to carry this when you can't carry this. And another popular pocket carry, this is the LCP2. This particular one is 22 long rifle, but it is the same size as the 380 version. And wow, now we're talking massive size differences. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you folks. Again, I didn't see a whole lot of them with some size comparisons, but this is what we're looking like. So let me know what you think. If you have one of these, let me know if you like it. And do me a favor, if you have one of these in the poly or the non-poly version, let me know if you all have some wiggle right here. I'm not crazy about that wiggle, but you know, hey, I understand that it's, you know, we have a polymer piece right here. There's going to be some leeway. There's going to be some play in it. Now this of course is metal, but there's obviously going to be some leeway, some play in that. I just want to make sure a previous owner of this one didn't accidentally break this or mess it up or stretch this or something. So. And again, I just suspect it was pre-owned. Maybe it wasn't. This might have just been a display. I don't know for sure. I don't know 100% for sure. Now, the drawback with these, they have reduced the price. I believe nowadays the MSRP for the poly is $299. The full metal version is $349. Street price on the poly, I believe, if you can find it, is around $250 to $265, somewhere in there. This particular one, from my local gun store that orders online, when they have them, I can get these for about $199 for just the basic entry-level North American Arms with the rubber grip 22 long rifle with just one cylinder. In the pugs, they run about $100 more, if I remember, $299. So yeah, guys, thanks for taking the time to check this video out. If you made it this far, I truly appreciate it. Please comment, shoot me any questions you have, and then like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, y'all, just a quick update. I did email Trailblazer about this possible wiggle, and I had a response back within probably 2 minutes from someone. I don't know who it was, but they were very prompt, very kind in the reply. They said that yes, a little bit of play is completely normal on these. They did say that there is a tolerance for it, and if I was unhappy in any way at all, for me to, they would happily issue me an RMA for me to send the Trailblazer back to them, and they would give it the extra attention that I felt it might need, which was very kind of them. Very, very good first-time customer service representation to me from Trailblazer Firearms. I'm not going to take them up on it right now because, like I said, it's not too big of a deal. It doesn't bother me, but you know how those things are. If it's one of those things that starts to eat away at me, yeah, I'll probably take them on it and send it back to them, see what they can do. But again, kudos to them for being so prompt on the reply. I wish everybody was like that. Y'all have a good day.